Welcome you all to this third video on the Tiger King. In the second video, we found that Jilani Jangjang Bahadur, the king of Pratibandhapuram, was killing one tiger after another. His mission was to kill 100 tigers to ensure the safety and security of his life. Now let us see what happens in the next part. In the part 4 of the story, let us see the Maharaja's tiger hunts continued to be highly successful. Within 10 years, he was able to kill 70 tigers, and then an unforeseen hurdle brought his mission to a standstill. An unforeseen hurdle brought his mission to a standstill. Unforeseen. This means something that could not be anticipated earlier, that something that could not be thought earlier. Hurdle means problem or difficulty. Then the next word is very interesting. Stand still. It means deadlock. We'll discuss these words a bit later again. So the tiger population became extinct in the forests of Pratibandhapuram. Who knows whether the tigers practiced birth control or committed harakiri, or simply ran away from the state because they desired to be shot by British hands alone. So the king was killing one tiger after another, and now after 10 years, within 10 years, he was able to kill 70 tigers. Imagine, he became king 10 years ago, and for the last 10 years, he was doing only a single thing, just killing tigers. Why? Because as announced by the astrologer, a tiger would cause his death. But the king is adamant. He wants to prove that no, a tiger cannot kill me. He wants to ensure safety of his life. So he is going to prove the astrologer wrong, and he's killing one tiger after another. A man who is in power, he is misusing his power just for a selfish cause, just for ensuring safety of his life only. He is not looking into anything. As a king, he should have looked into the welfare of the state, to the problems faced by the people of the country. But no, for the last 10 years, he did not at all bother about the development of the state, about the safety and welfare of the people of his country. For the last 10 years, the only thing he did was to kill tigers, and he has now killed 70 tigers. And then what happened? Something happened, something that he did not ever think, something unforeseen, something that he never think earlier. What was it? A problem came, and because of this problem, this tiger hunting mission of the king, it came into a standstill. It brought his mission to a standstill. See, interestingly, standstill, and I have written the meaning of the word as deadlock. This is deadlock, and standstill and deadlock are very interesting words. Why? Because you see, standstill, it seems to be two separate words, stand and still, but here they are a compound word. It's a compound word. It is a single word, standstill. Its meaning is again deadlock. Don't think it is dead and lock, that there is a lock which is dead. No. Deadlock means when there is no movement, when there is no progress of an activity, things becomes stopped. There is no movement, there is no progress. This situation is called deadlock or standstill. So what happened is that something happened after 10 years when the king had killed 70 tigers already and only 30 are left to complete his mission. Something happened that created problem. What is the difficulty? The difficulty was that the tiger population became extinct in the forest of Pratibandhapuram. Extinct, it means they did not exist. There was no more tiger available because he has killed all 70 tigers he has killed for the last 10 years, and no more tiger is available. Who knows whether the tigers practiced birth control or committed harakiri? This is just an observation, just a query by the author. Maybe the tiger also, like human beings, started using birth control measures for controlling the birth of more children, or they have committed harakiri. What is harakiri? Harakiri is a Japanese word. It is a kind of suicide that the samurai community of Japan used to commit. So harakiri means suicide. Maybe the tigers started birth control, or they started committing suicide. This is just a funny observation, a funny apprehension, or simply ran away from the forest, from the state, because they desired to be shot by British hands alone. This is another question by the author. Why is there no more tigers available? Is it because the tigers want to be killed by the British only, because British were the superpower, they were the by the powers who were ruling the country. So if I am killed by the British, then it will be a more dignified death. Is it this that the tigers were thinking, and that's why they were flying away from this kingdom, and because they wanted to, they were fleeing from here, they wanted to be killed by the British. One day the Maharaja sent for the Diwan Sahib, aren't you aware of the fact that 30 tigers still remain to be shot down by this gun of mine? He asked, brandishing his gun. So what to do? The king became really helpless, and kings always have this practice. Whenever they are in difficulty, they call their minister, come, this is my problem, you solve it. If you cannot solve it, I will kill you. Simple thing. That kind of cruelty, all the kings across the world in different ages, you will find it in many stories. So the king now, he asked his Diwan and said, yes, he showed his gun, brandishing his gun, just taking his gun in the hand, and he asked the Diwan Sahib, do you know that 30 more tigers are to be killed by this gun? The Diwan became very terrified. He became very afraid, shuddering at the sight of the gun, seeing the gun at the hand of the king and asking him this question. The Diwan started shivering. He became afraid. The Diwan said, Your Majesty, I am not a tiger. You are asking that you want to kill 30 more tigers with this gun, but I am not a tiger. Which idiot would call you a tiger? Who said you are a tiger? It's an idiot only who can call you a tiger. I am not saying that you are a tiger. No, I am not a gun. Then the Diwan said, if I am not a tiger, then why are you telling that you want to kill tigers, and then you are showing this gun to me? So am I a gun then? You are neither tiger nor gun. Diwan Sahib, I summoned you here for a different purpose. I have decided to get married. You are not a tiger, you are neither a gun. I know this. My purpose behind calling you here is a different thing. What is it? I want to get married. Now how is it? Getting married, killing tigers, showing the gun, how are they matching? They are not matching. The Diwan began to babble even more. Babble means when you cannot speak and you could not complete your sentence, you became shocked and you became just surprised. So this is what happened to the Diwan. The Diwan started to babble and he said, Your Majesty, I have 2 wives already. If I marry you. Now when the king said, I want to get married, the Diwan thought he is acting in a very foolish way. This is how the author is creating some humor, some kind of lightheartedness, some kind of comic scene he has created here. When the king asks the Diwan that I want to get married, the Diwan in a foolish way started thinking that, oh, then if you want to get married, you think I am the one whom you will marry. The Diwan said, Your Majesty, I have 2 wives already. If I marry you, I have 2 wives. How can I marry you? Don't talk nonsense. Why should I marry you? What I want is a tiger. Don't speak in an idiotic way. Why should I marry you? The king is asking the Diwan. He then said, what I want is a tiger. Again, it is something really very difficult to understand, because first he said he wanted to kill tigers, then he said he want to get married, and now he said, I want tiger. Your Majesty, please think it over. The Diwan is telling the king, your ancestors were married to the sword. If you like, marry the gun. A tiger king is more than enough for this state. It doesn't need a tiger queen as well. Now the Diwan is telling the king that you think again, your ancestors means your forefathers, they were married to the sword. Married to the sword here does not mean the marriage that human beings make. Here marriage means they were very close to, they were intimate. Your ancestors, they were known for their use of sword in wars. Their sword was very close to them. So if you, as their offspring, as their child, at least marry a gun, at least be intimate with a gun, why do you want a tiger queen? Why don't you want to marry someone else? We have a tiger king, you. That is enough for us. Our country does not need a tiger queen. You are everything. So if you want to get married, marry a gun. It means be like a hero, be like a king, like your forefathers. The Maharaja gave a loud crack of laughter. It means he started laughing like anything. I am not thinking of marrying either a tiger or a gun, but a girl from the ranks of human beings. First, you may drop statistics of tiger populations in the different native states. Next, you may investigate if there is a girl I can marry in the royal family of a state with a large tiger population. Now, the king is telling in plain language. in a plain language his main intention behind calling the Diwan. And he is now telling his main motive that he wanted to get married. And you see the way, all this while he was speaking in a very humorous way, in a very laughing way. The Diwan followed his orders. He found the right girl from a state which possessed a large number of tigers. Maharaja Jangjang Bahadur killed 5 or 6 tigers each time he visited his father-in-law. In this manner, 99 tiger skins adorned the walls of the reception hall in the Pratibandhapuram palace. So what happened is that you see how political leaders, those who are in power, to meet their end, in order to achieve their target, they can do anything. He is marrying a girl not for the sake of love, not for the sake of any the usual feeling or usual need for which one marries. This marriage, you can call it a political marriage, because his intention behind this marrying is that he should get a father-in-law who has a large number of tiger population in his kingdom, and as a son-in-law he will visit their home, and whenever he will visit he will kill tigers. The same thing he did. Each time he visited his father-in-law's home, he actually visited for killing tigers only. He killed 4 or 5 tigers, and in this way 99 tigers he was able to kill. The palace in his kingdom, the palace was decorated with all the skins of all the 99 tigers as a mark of his bravery, as a mark of his heroism. Then the Maharaja's anxiety reached a fever pitch when there remained just one tiger to achieve his tally of 100. He had this one thought during the day and the same dream at night. By this time the tiger farms had run dry even in his father-in-law's kingdom. It became impossible to locate tigers anywhere, yet only one more was needed. If he could kill just that one single beast, the Maharaja would have no fears left. He could give up tiger hunting altogether. But he had to be extremely careful with that last tiger. What had the late chief astrologer said? Even after killing 99 tigers, the Maharaja should beware of the 100th. True enough. The tiger was a savage beast after all. One had to be wary of it. But where was that 100th tiger to be found? It seemed easier to find tiger's milk than a live tiger. So now we found that killing 4 or 5 tigers each time he visited his new father-in-law's home, he has now completed his task of killing 99 tigers. The last one, that is the dangerous one, according to astrologers' predictions, is the one which is remaining. And now there is no more tiger available. Only one is needed, but that is also not to be found. And Tiger King should be very careful, especially about this last one, because as per the astrologer's prediction, this one was supposed to kill him. So then, and now the tiger has become so difficult to find that even you can get tiger's milk but not tiger. That is again one very humorous expression. Thus the Maharaja was sunk in gloom, but soon came the happy news which dispelled that gloom. In his own state, sheep began to disappear frequently from a hillside village. So there was only one tiger left, but that is not to be found. It was a difficult situation, but then good news came. What is the good news? See, the good news, you have to judge it. The good news is that in a nearby village, it is a hillside village, sheep began to disappear. If sheep began to disappear, what does it indicate? This indicates that sheep are disappearing from this spot because tigers are there who are attacking them. Tigers attack sheep and they kill the sheep. That's why sheep have started escaping from this place. So this sheep having disappeared from this area, this village, indicates that there should be tigers. It indicates the presence of tigers in this village. It was first ascertained that this was not the work of Khader Mia Sahib or Virasami Naikar, both famed for their ability to swallow sheep whole. Surely a tiger was at work. The villagers ran to inform the Maharaja. The Maharaja announced a 3-year exemption from all taxes for that village and set out on the hunt at once. So is it a fact that tigers are there and because of which sheep have started disappearing? This thing was first ascertained. This thing was first ensured. Here is a reference of 2 persons, Khader Mia Sahib and Virasami Naikar, and in this story you get a lot of really very exciting information. These 2 persons were known for their ability to swallow sheep whole. They could swallow a single sheep whole, the complete sheep they could swallow. These persons were known for that, and whether these persons have started eating, consuming live sheep. That's why sheep are fleeing, or sheep are fleeing because of the presence of tiger. These things should be ensured first. And when this was ascertained, it was confirmed that the tigers are there in this area, in this village. That's why sheep are fleeing. This information was confirmed to the king, and the king again, he started his journey, his mission. The last tiger he has to kill, the last one, the one who is supposed to be dangerous, the one who is supposed to be risky, the one whose death at the hand of the king would ensure that the king is now safe. The tiger was not easily found. It seemed as if it had, another thing is that the king became so happy that he announced that the people living in this village, the village where that last tiger is supposed to be existing, the people of this village for the next 3 years, they will be exempted from paying any taxes to the government. No tax is to be given. They are made free. No tax. Why? See, this is how those who are in power to fulfill their objective, they can do anything. They became happy just because the tiger is there. So let people enjoy this freedom, enjoy this kind of facility. Again, what happens is that the tiger was not easily found. It seemed as if it had wantonly hid itself in order to flout the Maharaja's will. The tiger was not found there. It seemed the people thought there is a tiger because all the circumstantial evidence indicated all these things. But going there, the tiger was not found. The author is saying as if the tiger was trying to escape. It was trying to escape from the Maharaja's grip. The Maharaja was equally determined. He refused to leave the forest until the tiger was found. As the days passed, the Maharaja's fury and obstinacy mounted alarmingly. Many officers lost their jobs. And tiger was not found after a rigorous search. On the other hand, the king was also very adamant. He thought that was determined that I must have the tiger. I will not leave the place until I get it. And when after all this obstinacy he could not get it, he became very furious, he became very angry, and as a result many officers lost their job. This is another indication. Those who are in power, how cruel they are. When they cannot get a thing, getting a tiger, killing 100 tiger is not a justified thing. It is something criminal, you should say. But the king is doing it, and those people who could not help him getting the last one, there is no way to get it. But the king became so angry that those innocent people lost their jobs. This happens also in case of those people who are ruling. They misuse their power in this way on the innocent people. One day when his rage was at its height, the Maharaja called the Diwan and ordered him to double the land tax forthwith. See, earlier when there was information that the tiger is there available in this village, king became so happy that he announced that these people should be exempted from taxes for 3 years. Now when the tiger was not found, the king said that make their tax double. See, those villagers, they had nothing to do with tiger. They had no role in making the tiger available or hiding it, but still innocent people are suffering. First they got the good news, no tax. Then they got the news that your tax is double. This is what the king did. The people will become discontented. Then our state too will fall a prey to the Indian National Congress. This is what the Diwan said, that if we do it in this way, the people will become dissatisfied, they will become angry, they will become annoyed, and they will start having a link with the Congress, and then our state again will be in danger. In that case, you may resign from your post, said the king. See, the kings are like this. There is no solution. Who can give a solution? And what the Diwan is saying is something logical. He is trying to help the king, but the king, he is adamant, he is obstinate. He is saying, if you speak like this, if you cannot find the tiger, and you are saying that our country my kingdom may fall a prey to the Congress, you resign from the post. This kind of anger he was showing. So now what to do? Only one last tiger remaining, and that is not found in spite of the information earlier conveyed to the king that tigers are there in the nearby village. After search, after the king's long efforts, it was not found. Now the king is angry. Many officers have lost their jobs. Tax is doubled on the village. The king is now telling the Diwan to resign if he cannot make the last tiger available. What happens next? This we will find in the next video, which will be the last video. Thank you very much for being with me.